Hey legends, Blake here with another video, and today is a video I wish I never had to make. Sometimes this hobby can be absolutely heartbreaking, and sometimes us as hobbyists are also at fault. As you can see, the tank behind me that used to house my 4-year-old Saratoga Lycardi is now vacant. Recently I came into the fish room and I found that where he usually comes right up to the front wanting some food, he was sort of hanging at the back, directing himself into the flow of the canister filter. So I had a closer look, and I had noticed that one of his pectoral fins as well as his jaw looked to be broken or at least severely damaged, and I from that point was just, my heart sank. I'd watched this fish grow from a 8-9 centimeter fish up to all of 3 feet or 90 centimeters now, and yeah, he was kind of my big wet pet. Now this where I'm talking about sort of us as fish keepers, or at least me in this instance. I had noticed since recently I moved the Oscars out of the tank to give him the full volume of the aquarium to himself. And I did notice that when he was in there alone, he did get quite skittish. And even as I'd normally walk around the fish room, I noticed that it started to surge back and forth, obviously being scared. Now, maybe when he had some company in there, that wasn't such an issue because, there's that sort of safety in numbers. But, I convinced myself that was fine. Also, I convinced myself that the size of the tank was fine. And maybe at that point, I should have realized that, if he's going to be surging around and scared, then there's not that much distance to do that. So yeah, it's a bitter pill to swallow. It's a difficult lesson to learn, but these points are, I think, a good time to reflect that, sometimes we can convince ourselves that these things are fine. Yeah, I'm just absolutely devastated. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't think about shutting all the tanks down, and this is probably the most devastating loss that I've had in my 5 or 6 years of fish keeping. Unfortunately, with Saratogas and their giant trapdoor mouth, once they come into contact with a broken jaw, they just simply can't eat properly. So I tried everything that I could at that point to mend it, but it's not like a bacterial issue or fungal issue. A broken fin and a broken jaw, you're not going to be able to heal that with salt or anything like that. I'm sure plenty of us as well have kept fish which have broken jaws and they get along fine, but a fish like a Saratoga with that huge sort of trapdoor mouth, that's just not something that is possible. So last night he was taken out of the tank. I also noticed that there was quite a few abrasions and things like that. So obviously, he must have crashed into some of the driftwood or something like that, which also I convinced myself was fine by keeping it down nice and low, because the Saratoga rarely ventured below the bottom half of the water column. But yeah, I'm not really sure what else there is to say. So as far as today in this video, I definitely just wanted to put it out there to let anybody who's wondering in the future what happened, then that is the case. Unfortunately, I am not some sort of super fish keeper or anything like that. I'm just a hobbyist like anybody else, and I'm also guilty of making poor decisions. I'm also guilty of having things go wrong, and unfortunately this is one of those times. So that's pretty much all I've got for this video. I'm just going to try and move on from this point. Thanks if you made it this far into the video, and if you've left a positive comment down below, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a really hard thing to lose a fish like that, and and it's definitely not something that I'm going to forget about anytime soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll try and catch you on the next one with hopefully a more positive outlook. Thanks for watching.